Greetings and welcome to another Fate Grand Order video. It is time to face off against the Ultra High Difficulty Exhibition 5, The Last Supper, which is Da Vinci and a bunch of minions. Now, out of all the events that we've been thrown, this one caused me the most headaches. And that's because unlike Arash's yesterday, this one will absolutely punish any mistake you make during the encounter. So, let's go over the fight and tell you what I did, shall we? So, onto the guide. Ta-da! So let's take a look at Da Vinci. She's got 2 HP bars, the first which is 106, which is very weak, and the second one which is almost 400,000, which is a lot more acceptable. And a 5 MP bar, so let's see, active skill. Decrease on MP gauge by 1 when attacked. This is something she and none of the other minions will share. Anytime they receive an attack of any sort that does some damage, or at least hits some, they lose 1 charge of MP. This is something you're going to have to do, alternate between everyone in order to keep their MP bars from launching at odd times, or when she does this. Charges on MP gauge by 1, apply Ignore Invincible for 3 whole turns, and increases critical rate for 1 turn. This is by far her most dangerous ability. By the end of the fight, she'll be casting this 2 to 3 times in a row, and you're going to have to try and figure out how to stop her from casting her Noble Phantasm without actually killing her because of what's coming up. Pre-break skills. So, during the fight, she will never actually attack unless it's her Noble Phantasm, but she will either increase MP gauge for an ally by 2, this includes herself, or increase everybody's MP gauge by 1. So this is going to happen at the beginning of every turn. She's either going to do this one, or this one. And if there are less than 3 of her allies on the field, including her, she will get a second action which will be another one of these, and her Noble Phantom if it's available. Now let's go to her break bar. When you break it, everybody's MP is increased to max. Yeah, when you break her first bar, if this happens to be up, it's basically run over, you might as well restart. Now, after the break, her skills get improved. Increase MP gauge by 2 and increase attack, increase MP strength, and apply Ignore Invincible. This is why you cannot break her bar until the very end of the fight. You cannot essentially take her down to the second life bar any earlier than when you've got only 1 enemy remaining that isn't her. Otherwise, this will absolutely stack up and destroy you. Now, the second one increases MP gauge by 1 to all allies and restores 10,000 health. This can be very troublesome as it stacks very quickly if you are stuck with a lot of defensive servants that don't deal any damage. Now, upon death, greatly increase attack, defense, and MP strength, and apply Ignore Invincible for allies, including the back line, for the remainder of the battle. So as you can see, if this happens and you've got more than 1 enemy left that's got 10,000 or less HP, it's essentially over. And her MP. Increase on MP strength before its launch, and then deal defense ignoring damage to all enemies. Now, defense ignoring means that defense buffs will not reduce the damage you take, so Mash is of no use to us here. And Jean's defense up will not help survive this. Now, Jean can survive it if she's got enough HP, but this thing hits like a truck, hits for like 30,000. It's very, very difficult to survive if you get hit by this. Now, let's talk about 2 minions. Now, many minions have, all of them have this, almost all of them. It's a buff that when they are attacked, they do something to the enemy. It's usually a debuff of some sort. And these, they can use up their turn to reapply it. So, let's see. You're going to start with these 2. The Old Gear, apply Skill Seal. Can be bothersome, but not too bad. And apply Curse, 1,000 over 5 turns. Well, every 5 turn for 5 turns. These aren't too bad, and these are just the first ones. However, this one right here, remove all buffs from attacker. If you time your Noble Phantasm in the wrong order, as going Jean first and then Bebe, as I'll talk later, then Bebe can get killed because of this, and that's what caused me to reset one of my runs. Now, decrease MP strength. This one we're not too worried about unless if it lands on Merlin or Jean, because both of those are defensive and healing Noble Phantasms and are not affected by strength. Strength is specifically for damage, not anything else, so we're not worried by this. Now, their Noble Phantasms, they also have Noble Phantasms of their own. Damage a single enemy, decrease defense, deal damage to a single enemy and inflict stun. This can be bothersome. Damage to all enemies and inflict burn. This we're not too worried about because Jean removes all debuffs with her interlude done, so we're not too worried. Now, the Bicorn, when attacked, decreases MP gain, but 100%. Essentially, you will no longer gain MP by attacking with arts cards, so be wary of this one. Luckily, we're going with a team that, while it does benefit greatly from arts cards, can easily remove this. And MP, damage to an enemy and inflict stun. Again, can be very bothersome. Now, the Soul Eater. This one is usually a very big pain in the butt. However, skill. Increase on MP gauge by 1. This is a normal skill. Soul Eater has no attack effects aside from permanent debuff. So as you can see, this guy right here does not have any of these. All he can do is waste his turn and increase his MP gauge by 1. This is actually extremely useful to us because by leaving him alive, we permanently take away one action from Da Vinci, and because we're going in with Jean and Merlin, who both are resistant to his attacks, they will never take more than around 3,000 damage. Or 4,000, depending on what buffs he has. Now, at about this point, you are about 1/3 of the fight through. And I'll explain why. This is nothing but a tank. She will do nothing but put taunt on herself, and you cannot untarget her no matter what you do. It cannot be removed. You cannot target anybody else to affect them with skills. So if this thing does not go down quickly enough, you will not be able to stun Da Vinci or attack anybody else to prevent them from using their noble phantasms, and you will most likely have to reset the run. Now she does not actually. Now her MP is MP damage or anything and inflicts skill seal. Now, if you do happen to get hit by this and nobody has pierce invincibility, then you're good because that turn she will not have the taunt. So you're good here. But she is very dangerous. Now, however, the one that is most dangerous is this one here, the Manticore. When attacked, inflict MP seal on the attacker 1 turn, but his MP damage all enemies and removes buffs. This is extremely debilitating because we are relying on all of our buffs to keep us healthy, keep our MP bars going, and to keep our defense up. So this guy is a top priority to keep down and to eliminate. Now, Red Oni, this guy is also a pretty high priority because he is a rider. And unfortunately, he can two-shot Merlin if you have really bad luck, like happened to me several times, and losing either Merlin or Jean means the run is essentially over. Now, when attack decreased defense, it was pretty negligible, honestly. It only lasts 1 turn, by the next turn it's gone. MP, damage all enemies and inflict burn. Honestly, you should be hitting this guy over and over again to take him down quickly, so he should never use his MP. Either of these two should never ever launch their MP. It's extremely debilitating. Now, Massive Ghost, another assassin. However, it's a massive ghost. These are the ones that have big AoE attacks on everything they do. So, when attack decrease MP gauge to 0. This essentially means that when the buff is up, make sure you only attack her with Bebe using her Noble Phantasm. Because, okay, Bebe hits, gets her MP bar is already at 0 because she used it to launch her MP, and then the MP gain from hitting somebody with an Art MP will get added back up. So that is how you deal with the Ghost. MP damage all enemies and inflicts skill seal. Now, the Massive Ghost does not deal that much damage with normal attacks. If you get hit by a critical, it can deal a little more damage. But this one isn't too troublesome. You just need to be careful of when she has her buff on and who you are willing to sacrifice her MP bar for. And would you look at that? Tickets for the Last Supper, because we're looking at Da Vinci. Oh, Google. Now, the most dangerous one, the Giant Berserker Boar. So obviously, Giant Boar. Giant Boar means its AoE attacks, and Berserker means its effective damage against absolutely everybody currently in the game. Now, when inflicts max HP debuff to one attacker. This is by far one of the most dangerous debuffs you will have, because this is extreme OP. This will reduce the attack of that servant to 1. Yes, 1 HP is all they will have, and you need to find a way to remove that and get their HP back if you don't want him to die from one of his attacks. Now, in my experience, he will only start with it and he will continue doing normal attacks, at least. If he just recasts it, and then bad luck, but his AoE attacks can hurt quite a bit. This guy needs to go down absolutely quickly. If you don't, the damage will start stacking up and you may never recover. Lastly, the Giant Spriggan. When attacked, inflicts stun. This will interrupt an attack chain. So if you hit somebody hitting them with this will be instantly stunned unless they have debuff nullification thanks to Bebe. But Bebe may not be up at this time. And MP damage to single enemy decrease defense. Now, of these little minions we have, the most dangerous ones are this one when you attack them because you might lose your invulnerability buff to survive. This guy you can leave alive like I did until the very end of the fight because 2 of your servants are completely resistant to his attack, so he shouldn't do much, and he might spend most of his time just charging up his MP. This you need to be ready for her to come out, and you need to be ready to eliminate her with absolutely anything you can. Because as long as she's alive, you cannot target anybody else for anything. The Manticore needs to go down very quickly, because if he launches his MP, all your defensive strategies are gone. The Oni can be dangerous against Merlin, but if you're lucky, he will never be touched. The Massive Ghost can be a pain in the butt with her AoE attacks, but your 2 servants are resistant to them. So just keep her in check with attacks to keep her MP down, and you should be okay. The Massive Boar needs to go down as soon as possible. You need to use everything at your disposal to kill it, otherwise the damage will stack up. And the Spriggan is just a Spriggan. This can be troublesome if you don't plan for it, but yeah, those are her minions. Very a pain in the butt, are they? Well, now that we've actually gone over the minions, let's go over the team that we used. Let's pretend we're going in, but I'm not going in again. I'm not doing that again. No. So what we're looking for is a Merlin, and it needs to be a Merlin, at least for my strategy to work. Here we go. Okay, so this is the team I used, and here is why. So, as you can see, we're using Jean and Merlin so we can have invulnerability ready at a moment's notice if we need it, as well as healing, defense up to reduce the damage taken, keep MP bars going, and all that. Now, why is Bebe here? Well, Bebe, because we are dealing with a wide array of classes, because she's part of the extra class, she deals normal damage to everything, and deals extra damage to berserkers and takes double damage from them. This is in our advantage because that means she can always deal consistent damage to almost everything. Not only that, but she does have 2 arts cards in her deck, along with her Noble Phantasm that is also in arts. But not only that, her Noble Phantasm increases the MP bar of all of our allies, including herself, by 20% when you use it. Extremely useful to keep those Noble Phantasms and invulnerabilities going. And her skills are also extremely useful. First, remove debuffs, restore HP, and apply debuff immune for 1 time 3 turns. This is going to help you recover from receiving any of the debuffs from the enemies, especially the one from the Spriggan, where you can put this on whoever's attacking and they will not get stunned. However, this will not stop you from getting your MP reduced to 0, it will not stop you from getting stunned, and yeah. Now, remove invincible and chance to inflict stun. The important part is the chance to inflict stun. Now, these are level 1s and they are very unpredictable. I was extremely lucky and got various crucial stuns with this and Jean's stun, and thanks to those I was able to win over this battle. Lastly, summonification. You're really only going to use that to try and get some critical stars onto Bebe so she can gain more MP bar with her arts cards on criticals, and really that's why she's here. Because she synergizes very well with the art servants, which are Jean and Merlin. Now, what is this little Martha Rider doing here? Well, I learned very quickly that Leonardo, later on in the fight, likes to spam her her invincibility piercing buff on herself. And this is very annoying because if you don't have any stun and Jean is or invulnerabilities ready because of some decisions you made, Martha here actually can save your life, and that's because her 3rd skill removes buffs and decreases defense for 1 enemy. This will remove Da Vinci's Pierce Invincibility buff, and that can help you survive that turn, because if you are getting hit by that, no amount of invulnerability will survive you. Now, Chloe, my favorite archer, is there for an obvious reason. As you remember, we are fighting the last creature is a giant Spriggan, who is a saber, and the one before that is a giant berserker boar. If there's anybody that excels at dealing damage to those 2 things, it is Chloe. Not only because she has a 50% MP charge skill in Kissing Feet double plus, but her projection at level 10 will increase her damage significantly. And if you combine her own buff with the attack up from the combat uniform, she can pretty much one-shot the giant boar. And that is exactly what you want, to get it out of the way quickly and keep on going with the fight. And obviously Heracles, Anchor, pinned by himself with his own Buster Chain and his attack buff, he can do 90,000 damage per turn. And because his guts trigger, the opponent's turn will end with 1 attack. So you have 1, 2, 3, his dodge and his own guts, 5 turns in order to finish off a fight. So yes, this is the team I went in. Hopefully you find this useful. And here is the final part of the fight that I was finally able to beat. Hopefully you get an idea of what the fight involves. And we will see you next time. Okay, so we are near the end of the battle. It's been a very long and arduous process. As you can see, 55 turns. It's not the longest we've ever had, but it is close enough. And as you can... Unfortunately you can't, but I've used pretty much every single skill on the combat uniform right now in Nero for maximum advantage. I had to use the stun to prevent Da Vinci from launching a piercing Noble Phantasm, and that saved our lives. I use the attack up whenever I can in order to do maximum damage, and I use the character switch in order to switch out Bebe, who absorbed the giant demon boar's trap of being reduced to 1 HP, and she is now in the back line at 97% charge. And as soon as she can use her skill once again, she can remove that and go back to some decent amount of health. So right now, as you can see, this seems very, very promising. So we are almost done hitting the giant boar. Almost missed that. But as soon as we kill them, that means there's only going to be 2 characters left on the field. That means Da Vinci will charge either hers or somebody else's MP. But now that I think about it, she might choose to do her Universale thing instead. That means we need to hit Da Vinci. We can't risk being hit with a piercing Universale thingamajig. If she had a full MP bar, we could safely assume that, but because she doesn't, we need to hit her. There's just no way around that. We do also want to help Chloe charge up hers, so we're going to go with... but we don't want to land criticals, unfortunately. Because we don't want Da Vinci to be too low on HP. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. That is perfectly fine. We're gonna need the slow eater one. Luckily, Chloe had guts, so that was good. So now what? Well... now we do finish off the Demon Boar. I really need Chloe to survive because I need her to take out the Giant Stone King in 1 hit. So what we're going to do... so we're going to go with that. Then we're going to go with that. And then... so Chloe will finish off the... whoa. Okay, hold on. This is very precarious. Very, very precarious. Because if we eliminate both of them, that means Da Vinci gets 3 actions. And she may decide to go armor piercing again. And she'll launch it on the same turn. My God. Okay, we need to hit Da Vinci again. Unfortunately, Chloe's not going to survive this turn. Even though I really, really, really need her to. Or I wish... actually... we've got no choice but to do this, unfortunately. There really is nothing else we can do if we want to ensure Chloe's survival. See, exactly. That's what I was afraid she would try and do. Now, what can we do with this? With this, we can use with Merlin's to try and get some more healing, but it's only 3,000. We need to kill the Demon Boar, that's for sure. But if we do not kill the Soul Reader on this same turn, Da Vinci will... okay, we can't risk it. We got to stun her. Yes, we got the stun. Ooh. That was a very low chance stun. It's level 1, that skill. So now that we know that we can't die this turn, we can go for both of them. With any luck. Guardian of Avalon, we're going to save Chloe's. And try and charge up... well, I'm really hoping that Chloe doesn't get hit, honestly. If she can survive until the Giant Stone King comes along, she might be able to one-shot it, and she can eat the stun for that 1 turn. There we go, down goes the boar. He was by far one of the most dangerous. Okay, there's the Giant Stone King. And the good news is that Da Vinci will not be able to launch a Noble Phantasm this turn because she always spends her first action charging. either her pierce invincibility, either 1 to everybody or 2 to somebody. And that all of that is fine. We did what we want to do. We got Chloe to this point in the fight. And hopefully she can deal... She's going to get stunned this turn, unfortunately. But we are getting Jean's Noble Phantasm ready. And that will cleanse the stun if we need to. Because it is a 2-turn stun, I think. Go, Chloe. Show us what you can do. I don't think she one-shotted it. Very, very respectable damage right there. She is eating the stun though. There it is, exactly like we were hoping would happen. And she lost the Pierce Invincibility. Excellent. That's it. We might have this in the bag. Okay, let's go with that. That'll make us immune. And let's go for a Heroic Chain. For a little bit of damage. Now, that Soul Eater is alive still because I chose to leave him alive because he doesn't deal that much damage to most people. Millen is resistant, Jean is resistant, and his Noble Phantasm deals 5,000 damage at most. So if you are near 4 HP like I've been throughout most of the fight, it's very easy to survive. And that's why he's still alive, although very low on health. Yes. Okay, Chloe, charge up. We got a Chloe Heroic Chain. That Spriggan is going down. And everybody's got enough HP to survive the Soul Eater's attack, so we are good to go. Come on, Chloe, take that thing down. Yes, down it goes. And that is the last of the minions. We can now finally focus on Leonardo. Like I said, that thing does very little damage, and we really don't care about it. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, the moment Leonardo goes down, she is going to... Give me a second here. Upon break, she is going to increase everybody's MP to max. And then her skills that she's been using up until now, the one that adds 2 to 1 ally will grant that guy apply Ignore Invincible. So it becomes a damage trace. But our secret weapon of Heracles with 6 resurrections is in the back is still alive. So I'm thinking we don't want to give her 3 actions in 1 turn. That is definitely something we do not want to do. So let's keep bringing her down. That's fine. Perfect. We could not have asked for a better turn. For a better outcome. Okay, so now we use Luminous Eternel from Jean to survive the onslaught, break her first bar with whoever we want, honestly, with Merlin. And that puts us in the final phase of the fight. Yes, they were both launch Noble Phantasms, but we don't care. They will not have Pierce Invincibility this very same turn, which is exactly what we want. Excellent. Now, unfortunately, that is still quite a significant amount of HP we've got to get through. And keeping that little assassin servant, well, beast alive in the background has definitely helped us reduce the amount of worrying we need to do upon Da Vinci. Perfect, okay, so now that we are pretty much set, Buster Card Effectiveness, oh, hello, Ilya. I mean, Chloe, whoops, sorry. Okay, let's start working down Leo's HP bar. If we can do at least 150, that would be awesome. 95. Okay, around the 110k. So as you can see, this is now a damage race. Now, unfortunately, because it is like that, and we're hoping she uses the everybody increases by 1 so that the assassin doesn't get armor piercing. Okay, that was good. That was good. Okay, this is good. This is very good. Because we can actually attack Da Vinci now, things are going a lot easier than they could have. We're not going to worry about the assassin as we have. So I'm thinking a heroic chain to bring down that MP bar she's got going. Okay, now that one actually hurt because of the 2 attack up buffs that she's applied to her. Well, to it. Now here's the thing though. If we kill the assassin, Da Vinci will get 3 actions, and those 3 actions could be 2 double charges and Noble Phantasm, and that would absolutely destroy us. So we do not want that. At least not when she's got at least 1 charge left on her MP bar. So Chloe, you're up again. But if we do that and burn through our servants on purpose, we can get out of Heracles, who can survive quite a number of turns on his own, and his damage is about 90k per turn. So he should be able to finish off the fight no matter what we do. Okay, that is definitely more than enough for Heracles to finish off on his own. I'm thinking we bring down that assassin down a little bit, just a smidge. But we are going to land a lot of criticals, so back to Da Vinci then. Okay, Jean is fully charged, so then Merlin and then Chloe, because we need her damage. Okay, she's been doing it onto herself. Oh yes. Okay, we're gonna use Jean's Noble Phantasm. And then Chloe's back on Da Vinci. We might still eat an attack from the Soul Eater with armor piercing, but that's fine. I can live with that. Come on, come on, we can do this. Okay, okay, what was that? 35k? Okay. Oh dear. Somebody is now dead. And that was Jean. Okay, so now we gotta deal with that thing that's invading this turn, but we do have a stun available to us. We'll take that, thank you very much. It has permanent pierce invincibility this turn, but... There we go. There we go. If we can hit it with Bebe, we can pretty much guarantee the victory here. It's got evade, so it's going to... Actually, you know, you can't evade this turn. Yes! Heroic Chain, here we go. It does have extremely high defenses now, unfortunately. So I'm not sure how much damage we have. However, defenses are bypassed by a Buster Chain's added damage when it happens. So Heracles will be able to finish this off. Okay, now what do we do? Now we go with a Bebe Heroic Chain for maximum damage and recharging. There we go, decent damage. 3,000 left. We can absolutely do this. And victory! Oh, yes. You have no idea how many hours I've been trying this fight. I've been trying all day that I've been able to play, and... oh, finally. So there you go. That is the team I went with. That's the team that brought victory. Now, unfortunately, this event will punish any mistake you make during this fight. Absolutely any mistake you make. Whether you accidentally kill one of the monsters and grant the ability 2 actions that turn and she destroys your party. Whether you forget to pay attention who you're targeting. Whether you don't have enough stuns or ways to stall Da Vinci when she has armor piercing. But yeah, finally. At least until tonight's 9 PM new challenge. But I can take a break until then. So anyway, yeah, there you go. Da Vinci finally defeated. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.